There we go.
There you
We're
are.
having all these
Hey,
technical issues. Good morning. If it's
Good
still
morning.
morning, it's even still morning. Yes, it is.
it is. It's still morning.
All right. My
Yes.
name's Ashlei King. You guys are watching us here for our Victory Over Violence digital series on fox16.com, KARK.com, as well as our Facebook pages. And I'm joined by Robert Holt. How are you doing today, Robert?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well.
Good.
Can't
Did you
complain.
enjoy your trip to Vegas?
I did. Had a little getaway last week, and it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
always
it's
good to
good
be
to
back
have you
home,
back
right?
home. Yeah, I had a little getaway. I've
Yeah, I saw
past
that.
5 days. Yeah, past 5 days, I've hiked 37 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Pretty good for an old man, right?
I hiked, but not 37 miles. I
Yeah.
hiked like maybe 2 miles.
Well, I had a group of kids from Whetstone Boys and Girls Clubs that
Oh,
came
yeah.
up. We partnered with the Nature Conservancy, and so we took them on hikes and got to see elk. And then I had another group, our volunteers, we took up there to the Boxley area and
Oh, that's
took
cool.
them hiking. And yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
So yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
great 5 days.
Yeah, so it's nice to get away because kind of what our topic today is we're talking about division.
Yeah,
And so it is nice sometimes to get away so you can kind of maybe forget that the world is so divided right now. So,
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's
yeah.
right. So yeah, yeah. So we are. We're talking about steps towards healing that divide. And
Hmm.
my gosh, I tell you, you could just walk. Actually, you can walk into a room of people
Yeah.
and immediately a couple of things.
Yeah.
There's so much bitterness right now. So
That is so
I'm
true.
hoping that today we might be able to help heal people that are watching.
Yes, that's our hope. All right, so I'm going to have you introduce our guest as someone who's been
Okay.
around a few times for us.
Yes, yes. I'm going to introduce my brother, my great friend, Mr. Pastor Bishop Stephen Christian, Dr. Stephen Christian, and so we're so happy to have him here. Hello, brother.
God bless you.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless you, Ashley. God bless you,
Yes,
Robert.
God bless you too.
Happy to be here with you. Sorry I didn't get to take either of those hikes.
You should have.
Yeah, or go to
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's funny. All
I'm
right,
looking
so
forward to taking those hikes.
yeah,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
hiking is a good way to kind of, like I said, get away from everything, just release, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I
Yeah,
like about
it
it,
is.
being
It
one with
is.
nature.
Well, you can
Yeah.
see I brought a little bit with me for you, Ashley, but behind me.
Oh, the
So I
pictures
brought a little
behind
nature
you?
with me. Yeah,
Here.
see the nature behind me?
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me see if I can
Uh-oh.
get in there. There we go. You can see it a
Oh,
little
look
better
at
there.
Yeah, yeah. See
Okay.
the nature behind me?
Cool. All right, so
Yeah.
let's, I guess, go ahead and get to it. So we are talking about, trying to heal the divide, bridge the divide,
Yeah.
and what it will take to get there. So I guess, Stephen, I don't know if I guess we can kind of start with you with what do you think, or if this is a huge question, why do you think things are so divisive, and what do you think divides us the most?
Uh, the reason I think things are so divided, um, Ashley, and I don't want to be offensive to anyone, but I believe uh, it's the fulfillment of Scripture that in the last days people would be very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the traits um, of our day. Selfish. We're only looking out for ourselves, and um, I'm not sure if it's worse in any area. As a matter of fact, to me, it seems like we're equally divided on every front,
Yep.
every front. And after Robert gives some of his beautiful acronyms and all
Mm-hmm.
of that, I have one for KARK, which is some things that we can do to make a difference when it comes to this uh, division.
Okay.
Well, go for it. What's
Yeah. Go.
what's your
Yeah.
acronym? Yeah. What is it?
Well, the acronym is, of course, it's KARK, and with a little alphabetical alphabet finagling. K is for kindness.
Mm-hmm.
The A is for acceptance.
Okay.
We need to be kind to one another. We
Mm-hmm.
need to accept one another.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to change me. There may be some things that I need to change about myself or ask God to change and help me to be better at. But K is kindness. And that comes from what we used to call the golden rule.
Yeah.
Do
You
unto
learned that in
others.
kindergarten, right?
Yes. Do unto
Yes.
others or treat others the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yep.
But the K is for kindness. The A is for acceptance, to accept everybody. Even we have differences, but we should accept each other's differences.
Yep.
These are different is good. A variety is good. The R is for respect. We should respect each other's person, time,
Mm-hmm.
and we should respect each other's property and all of that. And then the last one is we need to be courageous with a K, courageous enough to do what the three previous things: kindness, acceptance, respect, and courage.
I like that.
Wow. That's Stephen. Actually the steps that also. I mean, I didn't hear. He didn't tell me that, and so
Mhm.
here's what I had, with the exception of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I had, complain without accusing, answer without arguing, make people feel appreciated, be helpful to others. My first one, of course, was listen. And
Listen.
what he is saying is exactly what I have here. And that's really a cool way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I really, when you said that, Robert, a word came to my mind. I remember an older preacher, and for the sake of what we're talking about and what we're going through, he was an older Caucasian pastor. And one thing that he taught me, he still lives in the city. He's got to be 80 years old. Uh, but he taught me, learn to listen and get an understanding of why people feel what they feel
Mm-hmm.
and believe what they believe. Comes from a scripture. Whatever you do and all that get an understanding. But he
Right.
said the best thing you can do is learn to listen and understand each other's point of view.
That's one of the things that we used to do with a lot of the gang members way back in the day when I was on the streets in John Barrow and in Southwest Little Rock, is that we would pull some of those guys together and just say, look, I just want you to listen to each other. And when
Yeah.
they began listening to one another and hearing what was going on in their lives, all of a sudden they began seeing that we really do have things in common.
Yeah.
And then we got them to begin working together in the community to start helping families. And you cannot imagine the healing that took place, especially between some of the Bloods and some of the Crips that were out there. And now
Right.
they've pretty much all grown up.
Yeah. Listening is key. I know my mom told me that, I mean, a long time ago. She's like, you can learn a lot just from listening. Like,
Yes.
try to listen and understand where people are coming from. And you may not agree, and that's okay. But at least listen to them. So what advice do you have? You said to be kind. Like we, for the most part, everybody should know how to be kind. How do you accept when you are different from somebody else and you don't necessarily agree with what they're saying? How do you accept that?
I think we have to have the respect for each other's opinion. And if I respect that you have a right to disagree with me, you have a right and I have a right to disagree with you. And so we have to agree to give each other that kind of respect and deal with your emotions and keep self-control is a good word that we should use here. Self-control, even if you disagree with me or if I disagree with you, I need to keep my emotions under control And then we need to talk about why I feel what I'm feeling about your opinion that's different from mine, or your differences. Why do I feel anything other than acceptance? Why the resistance that I'm feeling to your difference and your differences of opinion? Why am I feeling that? So we don't need to be so selfish and demand that everybody be like me, think like me, vote like me, love all the things I love. But no, I should respect each other. We should respect each other and let each other have their opinions and be okay with that. And if some adjustments need to be made, I go down back to the last K in KARK. We need to have the courage, a part of the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change.
Oh, yeah.
The courage to change those that I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. I wish I had something new. All I have new today is my acronym, KARK. Kindness, acceptance, respect, and courage. We must be courageous. If there's some changes, some things that are negative in my life, or my emotions, something I'm feeling about you, or I need to be willing and have the courage to change those things that I can change about me. It's not my responsibility to fix anyone else. It's my responsibility to fix me.
You know, I think one of the things too, Ashley, that and Steve, that we're seeing in our world right now is that we're trying to force our belief systems, no matter which side you're on, no matter where you are, we're trying to force our belief systems on others that don't believe the same way. And when you begin forcing things, then all of a sudden they're going to have an equal force back against you. And one of the things that I've always said is, I'm not trying to get people saved. Now, I know there's a lot of preachers out there right now that are kind of curling their toes right now. It's not my job to save them. That's my boss's job. That's Christ's job to save them. It's my job to love them so that they will see that love that is within me and want that love. But if I'm constantly trying to push something onto people instead of loving people, it's not going to work. It's always about caring and showing love towards others so they will want what you want.
Yeah. Love is the drawing card.
Yeah. You guys.
And again, scripture, by my loving kindness have I drawn thee.
Right.
My love, that puts both what you said and I said together. Loving kindness. That's what we should draw people with. And if I love you, I accept you.
Yeah. You guys
for
mentioned
who you are.
Y'all mention love a lot, but I know there probably are some people who may be watching this who think like, you know, like you hear it, but I don't even like how do you can show somebody love, but if somebody has a lot of anger in their heart, well, I guess just showing them love over time maybe change their anger. Is that what you guys are trying to say?
Yes, love will overcome hate. Good will overcome evil every time. But it has to be consistent love and consistent goodness towards them. So Robert, I'm certain we would agree with me that love, when we use this term love, we're not talking about just the emotion. We're talking about love as a verb, an action word. Doing good. Go ahead, Rob.
Love is giving of myself for the good of others. Yes. I'm willing to lay down my life for my friend Steve right there. No matter what, I'm willing. That's how much I love him. I'm willing to lay down my life for my friend.
And so now that's the extreme, and that's that's the way we should be. We should be willing to lay down our lives. But let's bring it a little bit closer to home. Sometimes I should be willing to lay down my rights for the good of someone else. So, for instance, this morning, I had to make a trip to go somewhere today, and when we were trying to get on the freeway and all of that, it was cluttered, and I saw two people, one about to bump in front of the other, and then the other one's trying to make the other one get over, and the other one's trying to make the other. One of those people finally, and I was thinking that all the time, and I tell our congregation that love is yielding the right of way. Even though you may have gotten there first. If you see it's a long line, let somebody in. You don't have to. You're already late, buddy, and it's gonna take you a few minutes to get going where you're going. So love yields the right of way. Even if it's my right, if it's gonna help you and benefit you, not to the detriment of myself, it's not always to that extreme, but certainly it's not going to hurt me to let someone else get on the freeway, and I don't have to be the first one. I can let somebody else go, and I don't have to be angry if you were trying to get on and you kind of sped up around me. You didn't do that personally. It's not because you knew me and you purposely wanted to hurt me. You were trying to get on the freeway. So when someone's trying to live and exist and be happy, sometimes yield the right of way. Uh, uh, we've got to also have courage to open our hearts and share this earth, this gift of life and love with people. So Ashlei, we don't want people to just get this thing and think we're just talking about feelings. We're talking about action.
Action.
Every day, action. I see trash coming down the street. Sometimes trash get in my neighbor's yard, and I go and pick it up. It's not my trash. I'm on the end, and it flows down. But if I see that trash in any of my neighbor's yard, I'm willing to pick up their trash.
Well,
Every day.
Hey, Steve, let me throw this out real quick with Ashlei. Ashlei, have you ever been at a grocery store? And I mean, you don't have to say you've done this or not, but you've had this feeling. You've had a feeling in the grocery store, and you're standing in line. There's somebody in front of you, and all of a sudden you got this little thing and little voice inside of you going, "Pay for the groceries, pay for the groceries, pay for the groceries."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens is that a lot of people will not act on that.
I've never acted on it, I'll tell you that. I felt it, but I've never actually acted on it.
So when you act on it, what that is not about paying for the groceries. It's about showing that individual who probably needs to have that encouragement that the world still has hope.
Yes, showing some kindness. I did that this past week. Of course, we do that all the time, Robert, but I did that this past week. I was at Starbucks, and I got my coffee, my pumpkin spice latte, and yes, it's great. And just at an instant, I felt that spirit of, that's what I'm going to call it, that spirit of love said, pay for the person's meal, or whatever they're getting behind me. I didn't know what it was going to cost. It did not matter. If they had bought for an entire group, I was willing and ready to pay whatever their bill was. And when they got up to that counter, and I made sure they saw this African-American dude stick his head out the window, hand out the window, and talk to the lady who was in the cashier. And the person happened to be Caucasian behind me. I'm like you, Robert. I wanted people to know there is still kindness and love and courage and acceptance and respect in this world. We've got to do it every day in the little moments and in the big moments.
That's right.
And when you feel that, when you show that, or when you've had it shown to you, you can't help but feel,
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I've had it shown to me and it shocked me. Oh, what? They
Yeah.
paid for my what? Who
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
It didn't matter. They showed me love. They showed me respect and goodness. And yes, the
And
world needs to know.
it impacts your whole day after that too.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, and also here's what you do. You'll go back to your cohorts, your workers at work. If you're working, and you'll tell them,
yes.
you're not going to believe what happened today.
You're
Now,
not
guess
gonna
what?
believe it.
That seed just got planted in all those people, and they're going, I might be able to do that. And that's what we've got to have happening on a regular basis, is people really doing these kind and loving things for others, no matter what. Just do it, just do it.
I gotta say this, Ashley. There was a place downtown at the height of the time when George Floyd had been killed, and there were the marches and the demonstrations and all of that. And someone went downtown to a business. Robert, I don't know if I can't remember the business, but anyway, the lady was on television and she was talking about how people had written Black Lives Matter on her building. They painted it on her building. Now that's not right.
Yeah.
Black lives do matter, but you don't have the right to put that on people's property, private property, and others' business. That's not the way to get your point across. So let me just add, she was a Caucasian business owner. I had a friend. He is a construction. He owns a construction company. He happens to be African American. He and his wife went down to that lady's business, Little Rock, Arkansas. Went down to that lady's business. And he and his wife, they went to the store and got the same color paint and repainted her building. She was so overwhelmed. He's an African American business owner, construction worker. He and his wife got out of their truck and painted and repainted her building the color it was in the original. While he was doing it, Bubba drove up. Now, I don't know, Robert, what do rednecks call today? What do you call rednecks today?
Redneck.
Rednecks. Bubba, I don't know his name, but a redneck fella with his Confederate flag and his guns in the back of his in his truck, drove up on my friend and his wife as they were painting this lady's building. He was on his way to the Capitol for a counter rally.
Yeah.
And Bubba and his son got out of the truck and they were ready. They had their pistol.
Wow.
And they were ready to go in on my friend and his wife. And they asked, so y'all about this Black Lives Matter? And that's how Bubba said it, just like that. Y'all about this Black Lives Matter? And my friend, who is African American, but his name is Billy Joe. He said, no, how you doing? My name's Billy. We're painting over this Black Lives Matter. Somebody illegally painted this lady's business and we are painting over it. He came with the intent of confronting Billy because he thought Billy had put the Black Lives Matter on it. But when he realized that Billy, the African American, was repainting for free the Caucasian lady's business, it melted Bubba the redneck's heart. And he said, man, Can I help you? Please let me help you. Billy said, no, we got it. We just got 2 brushes here, and then we got a sprayer, and we're going to take care of it. He said, well, what can I do? Bubba and his son went to the corner store and bought waters and Gatorade and whatever they could and brought it to Billy and his wife.
Wow.
And at the end, he said, you sure I can't help you? Man, I tell you, I was getting ready to tear into you, but to see you doing this just bless my heart. And he said, oh hell, man, can I give you a hug? And Big Bubba just grabbed little old black Billy and just hugged him up. That's all I got to say. That's love in action.
Yep.
That's KARK. KARK. That's kindness. That's acceptance. That's respect and courage for Billy to go down there, repaint that lady's building for free. And that was courage and kindness and respect for Bubba, the redneck, to go and buy them juice and water. And just gave them the biggest hug he could give them. And
that's a good one.
Hey, what else can I say behind that?
I know that's a good one.
I tell you what, we should have called, but Billy didn't want any attention. He's just a humble man. But the lady said, and she did. She was on one of the television stations and made mention of it. But that's love in action.
Yep. Wow.
Well, there you go.
I know,
Ashlei.
right? It's like, how do we follow up on that one, right? It shows that people often judge a book by its cover as well.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, Ashlei, you or I have never been judged by like a book by its cover. I mean, me with a ponytail, old man with a ponytail, and never been. I mean, I've had more preachers come up to me to try to get me saved than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
well,
they immediately judge you.
Yeah.
Well, we need to tell them, learn a lesson from Billy and Bubba.
Yep.
Yeah.
Billy and Bubba. That's amazing. I think that's a good way to wrap it up, I guess. That's a great example right there. Yeah.
I haven't looked at our time, so I don't know where we are. I'm sure we're probably at our time, aren't we?
Yeah, we have a couple more minutes left.
Yeah. Did anybody have Ashlei on there that you could see that really anything that they needed us to answer, anything like that?
No, there were no questions. People were just commenting, just in agreement with a lot of things you guys were saying. But I didn't see any questions on here or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, any last words you want to say, Robert and Stephen?
Well, I just want to throw that one thing out. I mean, that's beautiful what Steve said about KARK, and then but love is giving of myself for the good of someone else, and I want to challenge each of our listeners and watchers out there to go and to show love. Give of yourself today to somebody, just somebody that you don't even know, and give of yourself today to help them.
And it's especially effective if you do it for someone who is different from you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's when it's really effective. It just makes all the difference in the world. And please learn a lesson from Billy and Bubba.
Yeah.
And let's love on people. Love Captain and Tennille. You probably don't even know them, Ashlei, but that was a husband and wife team that used to sing, "Love will keep us together." So we're talking about how divided we are. Love will put us back together, and love will keep us together.
Amen.
All right, and that's perfect what you said. So the acronym for KARK: kindness, acceptance, respect, and courage with a K. So I like that. All right, well, thank you so much. I hope we maybe touched somebody and gave somebody a new outlook on how to end some of this division, and hopefully it helped. I think it did.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt. So Hey,
Love
more
to
to
all
come.
of you.
Also, Ashley, more to come on out in Wakefield neighborhood.
Yep.
We'll know some things next week, and we'll get back with everybody on that.
Perfect.
Whetstone Boys Club,
Yeah.
Yes.
Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will.
Love to you all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And for everybody out there watching, thanks for watching. And remember, there is victory with love. Take care.